Namaste everyone. Today in this video you are going to understand about general account of bacteria. Bacteria are microscopic organisms which are often known as germs and microbes, single-celled organisms that thrive in diverse environments. These organisms can live in soil, the ocean, and inside the human gut. Humans' relationship with bacteria is complex. Sometimes bacteria lend us a helping hand, such as curdling milk into yogurt or helping with our digestion. In other cases, bacteria are destructive, causing diseases like pneumonia and methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, in short, MRSA. Bacteria can be differentiated using number of factors such as morphology, staining characteristics, nutritional requirements, biochemical activities, source of energy, etc. Now let us go through the anatomy of bacteria. Anatomy of organisms refers to its size and shape and also structural features that makes it distinctive. Size of the bacteria, unit for measurement, that is micron or micrometer. Size, bacteria range in size from 0.2 to 5 micrometer. Varies with kinds of bacteria and also related to their age and external environment. Cocci, that is pure 1 micrometer. Bacilli, rods 0.5 to 1 micrometer in width. 3 micrometer in length. Spiral bacteria, that is 1 to 3 micrometer in length and 0.3 to 0.6 micrometer in width. Generally, the bacteria are microscopic in nature and cannot be seen through naked eyes, can be seen only through with the help of microscope. Bacteria are unicellular organisms and the average cell ranges from 0.1 micron to 1 micron in size and it may vary. Now let us go through here some of the diseases causing bacteria for man. Clostridium tetani, tetanus, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Salmonella typhi, typhoid, Vibrio, that is cholera, Clostridium botulism, food poisoning. Now let us go through the morphology. Here in morphology, size of bacteria, that is the average diameter of spherical bacteria is 0.5 to 2 micrometer. For rod-shaped of filamentous bacteria, the length is 1 to 10 micrometer and diameter is 0.25 to 1 micrometer. Shape of bacterial cell. The three basic bacterial shapes are coccus, that is spherical, bacillus, rod-shaped, and spiral, twisted. However, pleomorphic bacteria can assume several shapes. This is all about the brief information about the morphology. Based on the cell shape, bacteria can be classified into basic groups, right? Cocci, the cells are spherical. These are the smallest among bacteria, may be round, spherical, spear in shape. Okay, in singular, it's coccus. Example, Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, Sarcine, octet or more. Okay, when you write all these organisms' name, you must write in the italics. Bacilli, that is bacillus. These cells are rod-shaped and elongated and are the second largest among bacteria. For example, Mycobacterium, Lactobacterium. Spirillum, the cell will be in the form of loose spiral. These forms are the largest. Example, Rhodospirillum, that is spiral shaped. Comma, the cell will be in the form of punctuation mark. Comma, that is, for example, Vibrio. Many bacteria exhibit several shapes or form. This is known as pleomorphism. Example, Azobacter or Rhizobium. You can also see here different bacterial shapes. Okay, you can see here the diplococci. Okay, then streptococci. Here you can see in the chains 4 bacteria, that is the tetrad and sarcinae. Okay, and we can see the octet shape. Then staphylococci, that will be in the groups. Okay, in the bacilli you can see single bacillus, diplobacilli, streptobacilli, then coccobacillus. Vibrio, spirillum, and spirochete. You can see here the spheres, bacilli, and spirals overview. Okay. If you want, you can take a screenshot or you can pause the video and you can go through this. Coccus in plural cocci, spherical bacteria may occur in pairs, that is diplococci, in groups of 4 main tetracocci, in grape-like clusters staphylococci, in chain streptococci, or in cubical alignments of 8 or more sarsi. For example, Staphylococcus aureus, then Streptococcus pyogenes. Bacillus plural bacilli. Raw-shaped bacteria generally occur singly but may occasionally be found in pairs. Diplobacilli are chain, that is Streptobacilli. For example, Bacillus cereus or Clostridium tetani. Spirillum, that is plural spirilla, spiral-shaped bacteria. For example, Spirillum vibrio spirochete species. Now here you can go through the ultrastructure of bacteria. Structure outside the cell wall. Capsule, flagella, villi, sheath, prostheca, stars. Structure inside the cell wall, you will be able to see the cell wall, cytoplasmic membrane, nucleoid, mesosome, ribosome, cytoplasm, and spore. In this bacterial diagrammatic representation, you'll be able to see the capsule, cytoplasm, ribosomes, cell wall, plasma membrane, nuclear area, that is known as nucleoid because they don't have a specific nucleus compartment, right? Nuclear area containing DNA. You can see here the plasmid. You can see the flagella, fimbriae, plasma membrane, cell wall, capsule, inclusions, mesosomes. Okay. Here is one more structure representation. You can have a look here. Either you can refer that diagram or you can refer this diagram. Okay, you can see here the slime layer, okay, outside the cell wall, which is a capsule. Then pilus you'll be able to see. Then here you can see the mesosomes. Okay. Then I have given one more structure representation of bacteria. You can go through this particular ultrastructure of a typical bacterial cell. I'm giving more option of pictorial representation of bacteria. Anyone you choose for the examination point of view, and you can make a note for your examination. Okay. A bacterial cell you have seen in the figure 2.5 shows a typical prokaryotic structure. The cytoplasm is enclosed by 3 layers: the outermost slime or capsule, the middle cell wall, and inner cell membrane. The major cytoplasmic contents are nucleoid, plasmid, ribosome, mesosome, etc. And the cell is devoid of endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, centrosome, and Golgi bodies. Okay, you will be able to see the ribosomes, which is one of the cellular organ which is responsible for the protein synthesis. In bacteria also protein synthesis will happen, right? In prokaryotic also happens and eukaryotic also happens. Ribosomes is present in the bacteria, but other organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, centrosomes, Golgi bodies cannot be seen. Now let us go through the capsule. Capsule is 0.2 micrometer thick viscous layer, outer layer to the cell wall. Capsule is 98% of water and 2% of polysaccharide or glycoprotein or polypeptide or both. There are 2 types of capsule. Macrocapsule, thickness of 0.2 micrometer or more, visible under light microscope. Microcapsule, thickness less than 0.2 micrometer, visible under electron microscope. Capsule is very delicate structure. It can be removed by vigorous washing. Capsule is the most important virulence factor of bacteria. Functions: it helps in the attachments as well as it prevents the cell from desiccation and drying. It's an additional character of the bacteria. It helps the bacteria to attach the surface of solid objects in aqueous medium or to tissue surface of animals and plants. Capsule resists phagocytosis by WBC's function. It gives protection to the cell from desiccation under natural condition. Now let us go through the flagella. It is 15 to 20 nanometer hair-like helical structure that emerges from cell wall. Flagella is not straight but is helical. It is composed of flagellin, that is protein, globular protein we'll be able to see, and known as H antigen. Flagella has three parts: basal body, hook, and filament. Functions: it helps motility of the bacteria. Classification of flagella: on the basis of the number of position, the flagella are of different kinds. They are monotrichous, single flagellum is present at one end, example Vibrio. Lophotrichous, multiple flagella located at the same spot, example Pseudomonas species. Amphitrichous, single flagellum on each of two opposite ends, example Spirilla. Peritrichous, many flagella are present all around the cells, example Salmonella typhi. You can see here the ultrastructure of the bacterial flagella showing flagellar basal bodies and hooks. We'll be able to see one as gram negative. A, this is the gram negative, and B, this is the gram positive. In both the bacteria, you'll be able to see the flagella. Okay. Only difference is there in the biochemical composition of bacteria. Cell wall, you'll be able to see the differences. Okay. Types of flagellar alignment, you can see the diagrammatic representation here, right? Polar or monotrichous, single flagellum at one end. Lophotrichous, tuft of flagella at one pole. Amphitrichous, flagella at both poles. Peritrichous, flagella all over. Amphilophotrichous, tuft of flagella at both ends. Now let us go through pili. Pili are hollow, filamentous, and non-helical structure. They are numerous and shorter than flagella. Pili is the characteristic feature of gram-negative bacteria. Pili is composed of pillin protein. Bacteria containing pili are Shigella, Proteus, Neisseria, Gonorrhea, E. coli. Function: attachment. Right? Pili helps the bacteria to attach to the host cell surface. Most of the human pathogens of respiratory tract, urinary tract are attached with the help of the pili. Pili can also be known as fimbriae, possess antigenic property. Specialized functions are like some pili are modified for specialized function. For example, sex pillars, that is F. pili, help in transfer of DNA from donor to recipient cell during conjugation. F. pili also act as receptor for bacteriophage. Now let us go through sheath. Some bacteria forming chain or trichome are enclosed by a hollow tube-like structure known as sheath. Aquatic bacteria mostly form sheath. Some sheathed bacteria are Spiritullus, Lophotrix, Clonotrix, etc. Function: mechanical support. Sometimes sheath is impregnated with ferric or manganese hydroxide, which provides strength to sheath. Now let us go through the stalk. It is non-living ribbon-like tubular structure. It is formed by excretory product of bacteria. Some stalk bacteria are Gallimimus and Plantomyces. Function: helps in attachment to solid surface. Prostaceae. Prostaceae are semi-red extensions of cell wall and cell membrane. One bacterium may contain one or many prostaceae. Some prostaceae develop bud at the tip and hence helps in reproduction. Some prostaceae bacteria, Corybacter, Stella, and Procercobacter and Hypomycobium. Function: Prostaceae increase surface area for nutrition absorption. It is usually formed in bacteria living in very dilute environment where concentration of nutrition is low. Helps in adhesion, asexual reproduction, that is by budding. Now let us go through the cell membrane. Cell membrane is the inner layer that lies inside the cell wall and encloses the cytoplasm. It is also known as cytoplasmic membrane or plasma membrane. It is about 8 nm thick. Cell membrane of bacteria is composed of phospholipid and proteins. Function: it is selectively permeable as it allows to pass selective substances such as sugar amino acids across it. Cell wall, you'll be able to see gram-positive cell wall, where cell wall composition of gram-positive bacteria are with the peptoglycan, lipid, teichoic acid. Okay, then next we'll be going to gram-negative cell wall. Cell wall composition of gram-negative bacteria are like peptoglycan layer, outer membrane which will be filled with the lipid, protein and lipopolysaccharides. Okay, where you will be able to see thick amount of the peptoglycan layer. In gram-positive bacteria, there is a thick peptoglycan layer and less amount of the lipid. Whereas in gram-negative bacteria, very less amount of peptoglycan layer, or there will be an absence of peptoglycan layer, but rich amount of thick amount of lipopolysaccharide can be seen in the gram-negative bacteria. Cell wall, which is outermost layer, encloses cytoplasm, confers shape and rigidity. Thin, that is 10 to 25 nm thick, visible only under the electron microscope. Okay, composed of peptoglycan. Chemical nature of the cell wall helps to divide bacteria into two broad groups, right? That is gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria based on the chemical nature of the bacterial cell walls. Carriers of the bacterial antigens, important in virulence and immunity. Okay, then gram-negative cell wall has lipopolysaccharides, rich amount of lipopolysaccharides. Chemically, cell wall consists of mucopeptides made up of alternating chains of N-acetyl glucosamine. In short exam, they'll ask you NAG, okay, and N-acetyl muramic acid, NAM molecules. These chains are cross-linked by peptide chains. The narrow spaces left by these chains are filled by various other chemical composition which vary with the species. The cell wall composition differs between gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. The cell wall of gram-positive bacteria contain up to 90% of peptoglycan, about 10% of teichoic acid. In gram-negative bacteria, cell wall composition is more complex. It is made up of several layers, right? Next to cell membrane peptoglycan layer, next to this externally is the periplasmic region consisting of number of enzymatic proteins. The outer membrane regulates the entry of molecules into the periplasmic space. Here you can see the gram-positive cell wall where you could see the rich amount of peptoglycan layer. Okay, this is the peptoglycan layer and you can see the teichoic acid. Okay, teichoic acid you will be able to see. Gram-positive cell wall is composed of a thick multi-layered peptoglycan sheath outside of the cytoplasmic membrane with where teichoic acids are linked to the embedded in the peptoglycan and lipoteichoic acid extend into the cytoplasmic membrane. Okay, you can see here the lipoteichoic acids which are linked and embedded in the peptoglycan layer when compared with the teichoic acid which are present at the surface of the peptidoglycan layer. Gram-negative cell wall which is complex, right? When multi-layered, composed of an outer membrane linked to thin, mainly single-layered peptoglycan by lipoproteins. The outer membrane includes porions which allow the passage of small hydrophilic molecules across the membrane and lipopolysaccharide molecules that extend into extracellular space. Okay, you'll be able to see this is the porion and lipopolysaccharides. Okay, peptoglycan is very less amount. Very thin layer of peptoglycan layer can be seen. So this is the thin layer of peptoglycan layer. We will be able to see more rich amount of lipopolysaccharides. The differences: gram-negative bacteria, more complex cell wall, positive, simple cell wall, thin peptoglycan cell wall layer, here thick peptoglycan cell wall layer, outer lipopolysaccharide wall layer, no outer lipopolysaccharide wall layer, retains safranin, this retains crystal violet, okay, and this crystal violet will be fixed by the Gram's iodine that is acts as a fixative or mordant. When we observe under the microscope during Gram staining, this appears pink or red, whereas gram-positive bacteria which appear blue or purple. Now let us go to cytoplasmic membrane or plasma membrane, which is thin layer which is of 5 to 10 nanometers, separates cell wall from cytoplasm. Acts as semi-permeable membrane, controls the flow and inflow and outflow of metabolites. Composed of lipoproteins with small amount of carbohydrates. Internal to the cell wall is the cell membrane or the plasma membrane. It forms the outer boundary of the cytoplasm and is selectively permeable, and thus it regulates the entry and exit of molecules into cytoplasm. The membrane is chemically made up of lipoproteins, which is the ratio of 70 to 30 ratio, and here practically no carbohydrates. Lipids found in the membrane are phospholipids such as phosphatidylethylamine. Now let us go through the functions of plasma membrane. It provides mechanical shape to living cell and functions as osmotic barrier. As it forms outermost boundary of the cell, it protects the inner contents of the cell. It possesses various surface protein receptors that are bound by hormones and metabolic regulators to produce a desired physiological effect. It helps to maintain the constant internal environment as the cell membrane has selective permeability property. The plasma membrane helps in pinocytosis and phagocytosis. The membrane is fluid in nature, which is influenced by nature of fatty acids and the phospholipids. Now let us go through the mesosomes. You can see this is the mesosomes. You can also see there the tubules. Okay, here the plasma membrane. Okay, you can see the cell wall here, and this is the mesosomal sac. Mesosome is a spherical or round sac-like structure found commonly in gram-positive bacteria. Multilaminated structure formed as invaginations of plasma membrane. You can see here many invaginations can be seen here. Okay. Principal sites of respiratory enzymes coordinate nuclear and cytoplasmic division during the binary fission. More prominent in gram-positive bacteria. Function, it is the site for respiration in bacterial cell. Okay, in some bacteria, particularly, in gram-positive bacteria, the cell membrane forms vesicle or packet like infoldings into cytoplasm at several regions called mesosomes. I'll repeat, in some bacteria, particularly in gram-positive bacteria, what happens? The cell membrane forms vesicle or packet like infoldings into cytoplasm at several regions are called mesosomes. Mesosomes are reservoirs of respiratory enzymes and are supposed to be analogs to mitochondria of eukaryotic cells. The presence of number of mesosomes, particularly during the log phase of the growth, respiratory activity will be high. This supports the involvement of mesosomes in respiration. In photosynthetic bacteria, mesosomes number is related to pigment concentration and photosynthetic activity. In sporulating bacteria, mesosome formation is prerequisite for the spore development. Mesosomes are also involved in cell wall synthesis and are necessary for cross-wall formation during cell division. It also increases the surface of the cell membrane. Mesosomes consist of the cell membrane with many vesicles, tubules or lamellar walls filling imagination. Now let us go through the cytoplasm. It is colorless, viscous fluid present inside cell membrane. All the cell organelles and inclusions are found floating in cytoplasmic fluid. It contains or composed of proteins, lipid minerals, nucleic acids, glycogen, water, etc. Functions, it helps to distribute water, oxygen as other substances throughout the cell. Literally, all the cellular content including nucleus and other cell organelle are floating in cytoplasm. Okay, so cytoplasmic substances like in eukaryotes differs from in many aspects, not showing streaming movements. Cytoplasm includes ribosomes, nuclear material, proteins, and other water-soluble material and reservoir material. Organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, etc. are absent. Plasmids, that is extracellular DNA, but as the name suggests, extra chromosomal means other than chromosomes, other than genomic chromosomes, other than genomic DNA, we have additional DNA, additional chromosomes, that is additional circular DNA. Okay, plasmids, episomes are also found in cytoplasm. Episomes means here sometimes what happen, the plasmid DNA which goes and integrate with the genomic DNA of the bacteria, that time we can call that as episomes. Cellular reserve materials, a variety of reserve materials are found in the bacterial cells. Of these, starch, glycogen, and polyhydroxybutyric acids are present, are important. Now let us go through the nucleus. Nucleus is the most important part of the cell. It controls and directs all the cellular activities and stores hereditary information of cell. Bacterial nucleus is known as nucleoid. It lacks nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, and nucleolus. Bacterial DNA is naked. It is the lacked histone proteins. Functions: it contains and stores hereditary information of the cell. It controls the cell, all the cell activities. Ribosomes, bacterial ribosomes are of 70S type. Ribosomes are rounded granules found freely floating in the cytoplasm. Ribosomes are known as universal cell organelle because it is found in both bacterial cell and eukaryotic cell. Chemically, the ribosomes are made up of nucleic acids, particularly RNA and proteins. Functions: like it helps in protein synthesis. Certain gram-positive bacteria are capable of producing highly resistant structures called endospores or simply spores. Okay. Spore is metabolically dormant structure produced during unfavorable condition by the process called sporulation. Sporulation occurs during late log phase or early stationary phase. Under favorable conditions, spores germinate to give vegetative cell. Here you can see the diagrammatic representation of the endospore. Okay, this is the cortex, then germ cell wall, plasma membrane, and you can see the core, exosporium, outer spore coat, and you can see the inner spore coat. Now let us go through the overview of this bacterial structure and their functions. Cell wall protects the cell and gives shape. Outer membrane protects the cell against some antibiotics only present in gram-negative cells. Cell membrane regulates movement of material into and out of the cell, contains enzymes important to cellular respiration. Cytoplasm contains DNA, ribosomes, and organic compounds required to carry out life processes. Chromosome carries genetic information inherited from the past generations. Plasmid contains some genes obtained through genetic recombination. Capsule and slime layer protect the cell and assist in attaching the cell to other surfaces. Endospore protects the cell against harsh environmental conditions such as heat or drought. Pilus apillae assist the cell in attaching to other surfaces, which is important for genetic recombination. Flagella moves the cell. Hope you understood today's concept, a general account of bacteria. You had to be a warrior. You must fight against bad time. God helps to those who helps themselves. ಧರ್ಮ ಹರಡಲಿ, ನ್ಯಾಯವು ಬೆಳಗಲಿ, ಭ್ರಷ್ಟತೆ ಎಂಬ ಕತ್ತಲು ಸರಿದು ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯ ಬೆಳಕು ಹರಿಯಲಿ. I, Dr. Pratibha KS, signing off for today. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Stay blessed, Stay tuned with me. Thank you.